Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, 9:15 a.m., May 10th. My name is Amal, and I'm here to do your crypto and Bitcoin analysis. So let's get to it, folks. Again, for those of you who have been watching our videos for a while, we have now rebranded to Alpha Trades from the previous Cryptosomniac because we have started to open up our community into different asset classes as well. Okay, so obviously Cryptosomniac itself doesn't really serve the purpose because if you go into our community right here, you could see live equity updates right here. Okay, Faisal, our equities analyst, provides daily updates from the market open to the market close. He has stocks of the day right here, where you could see, Abbott Labs was one of his stocks. The other one was Edwards Life Sciences from last week, and then top growth stocks for the week. And you can see here the weekly gains. So he put these up last week, and by the end of the week, these are all the stocks that he picked and how they ended the week. So amazing stuff from Faisal, and even amazing stuff from our end in the crypto side as well as the Forex side, and then oil updates as well. Every single day we try to find good trade setups in the market, let our community know exactly what we're doing. Like here's, one of our trades that we took a loss on, right? That it was the Aussie dollar trade right there. Okay. Now, even though this is a loss, I wanted to show you guys that, this is how we sort of lay out the trade. We show you guys almost always, we show you proof of me taking the trade, proof of when I get in, proof of when I get out. So, I want to let you guys know that this is a community where I will always be as transparent as possible. I'll always let you guys know in full detail my reasoning for the trade, my entry, my stop, my target profit, etc. Okay, so all of these things are very clear for you as soon as you see, this kind of alert for a trade. Okay, and same thing in the stock market channel. We took a was it like a short trade a couple days ago, and this one ended pretty well. We were hoping that it would drop down further, but it actually pushed up a little bit before it pushed down. And so we were hoping that this trade would last into this big drop, but unfortunately we kind of missed that drop. But let's get to that drop, right? So let's talk about that, okay? So first things first, all right? What we see right now is, Bitcoin obviously took a huge dump. I think there was just a lot of longs, all through this whole move up. And I think when Bitcoin took that dump, this pretty much liquidated all those longs and pushed a lot of people out of the market. Now the question is, right, have enough sellers gotten out at the top here? And are we just going to keep dumping lower and lower? Or are we going to press back up and challenge 10K or 11K or something like that? Well, personally, I've stated my thoughts already, and you can go back and watch my videos. I'd already stated that either this is the top or the top is very near, somewhere around 10,175. And the reason I stated 10,175 is because if we go over here on the weekly, right, and we put down a marker, all right, which is this one right here, just around where these two close right there, look at that, okay, 10,172, okay? So I stated that, we might get up, but it may not be that much higher. It would be 10,175 or so, and then that would pretty much be a top. For us to be truly bullish, okay, you have to look at this thing from a larger perspective. This is the 20K top, 13.9K lower high, 10.5K, 10.5K, right? Unless we smash up above these two highs right here, 10.5K, there's a very high chance that we at least go back to 4,000 or 5,000 or put in a lower low, okay? And I'm a little bit more confident in thinking that we might put in a lower low than this $3,600 low. And that might happen over the next several months, to be honest. And, it could even happen over the next month because the price acceleration back to the upside has been so aggressive that I would figure that the move back down is also going to be just as aggressive. Kind of like this move was, and then this move, right? So usually when it comes to asset classes where there's a bit more risk and less liquidity in the market, you will see big, drastic moves like this to the upside, right? Like this, big climb and then big drops. And then again, big climb and then maybe another big drop, okay? So this is no surprise, all right? And again, go watch my videos, read my trading view. I had told and warned my members that if you want to be long up here, right, do not be aggressively long. Yes, you can take, quick longs here and there with some stops in the middle. Like I can even show you guys honestly that I got stopped out on a long yesterday, right? Entered in at 93.25, or I'm sorry, 9,500. Stop was at 93.25. Target profit was, nearby 98.65 or 10,000. But in this wedge right here, which was this area, okay, we took a huge dump. All right, but hey, I got stopped out and I didn't have to deal with the rest of this right here. Okay. See, this is what I mean by people who don't understand markets like this from the bigger time frame perspective, because they're blinded by key things like Bitcoin is going to be great in the future. Bitcoin halving is coming up. Fiat currencies are going to go to zero and Bitcoin is going to rise. You got to forget about that mindset. This is a loser's mindset. Okay. Trade the asset as it looks. That's it. If you get stopped out, take the loss at your chin, walk away from the market, and that's it, right? I'm showing you guys honestly that, hey, this is the loss that we took, okay? That was it, all right? Do we keep taking losses on the way down? Not really, okay? So now what do? Well, we position ourselves for the next move, okay? So the next move is, in my opinion, going to be something like this, okay? We now have a big CME gap, right? So let's look at the CME futures. All right, CME futures closed right around 10,085 or so. We are currently, as per the CME, somewhere around here. That's a huge gap. Okay, that's almost $1,000, $1,200 gap right there, right? So that's kind of the same gap that we left back here in middle of March or early March. Okay, oftentimes when there's such a big gap, it's very hard to reclaim, anytime soon. But we'll see exactly how it goes, okay? But for the most part, if the sellers are really coming into the market, the CME is going to effectively hedge their positions, close out maybe their longs, and then also start shorting and dumping the market. That means that this acceleration of the drop will be further accelerated, all right? And that means, the retrace that we're going to get is going to be very small. So we might get to 9,000 at the very most, maybe 9,150. And then start dumping. All right. So these are the things that I'm paying attention to over the next, few hours, because CME markets open around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's in about, 8 or 9 hours or so. So I'll be paying attention to that, and I'll be letting my Advantage members know exactly what I'm seeing in the Bitcoin analysis channel. This is where I put out all the information in the Bitcoin analysis channel for our Advantage members. All these locks that you see on the left right here, these are all for our paid members, our Advantage members. And you can go to the Cryptosomniac website right now, hit the products page right there, and buy the subscription if you want this kind of analysis. I personally think that the next several months ahead are going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to trade, to understand how to trade in a volatile market, to even invest at maybe bargain low prices. Again, I am going to trade this market with the idea of I want to look at this as a 3 to 5 year marathon. And I think you should too. Any person who thinks they can come into this market and they're just going to make easy money, right? You're going to be wrong. You're probably going to lose all your money. You're going to be sad and you're going to be hurt. But if you take this as a marathon rather than a sprint, you will be very happy at your long-term results of how you look at the market from a larger perspective. And so from the larger perspective, I've kind of laid out this analysis for myself as well as my community members. It's also on my Twitter page. So I think personally we're in this larger shift pitchfork, okay? That comes from this high, 3,100 low, 13.9K high, okay? So with that being said, we actually hit this rung right here, this little ladder rung right here, which is the 75% fib in this larger pitchfork. Okay, so in this pitchfork right here, if we hit that 75% fib before, and then we went as low as, what is it? This one is, I think, the 25% fib. Okay, or actually the 50% fib, I guess. If we hit the 50% fib all the way down here, right, chances are we might hit that 50% fib or lower on the way down, okay? This one right here is about the 75% fib all the way down here. All right. So if we start going straight down at the same pace that we went up, I would probably expect by July or so, we hit maybe somewhere around $3,000 or $2,400 or $2,600 or so. Okay. This is my thought process of how I would see Bitcoin in the next few months ahead. Alternatively, like I said, let's just say Bitcoin is really bullish and I am completely underestimating it. Okay. We might do something like this, smash up through this. If we test this as support, the 10,500 area, I could almost certainly guarantee that we're going to go to at least 13,900 up here or farther up. Okay. But again, we are under that. We just had a massive sell-off, right, over the last 24 hours. So for now, things look pretty grim for Bitcoin. All right. And even the weekly, let's check out the weekly. All right. This is the first weekly that looks red right now, finally. Okay. So this is where we are, folks. We're in a very critical area where we've had 8 straight weeks of movement up, no retracement, no consolidation, just straight up movement. And so I've said this before, and this is a saying that we have in the markets. Okay. When you take the stairs up like this, okay, and sometimes there's really no stairs up. This is like an elevator up. You also take the elevator back down. Okay, so you got to be careful in this market. Do not be perpetually long. Don't think that this halving BS is going to, save you and, make you super rich and get you Lambos. Forget that garbage. Stop listening to people like that. Okay, you'll always see that on Twitter because it's not in their best interest to show you that this is how you trade markets with a long time frame, with a long time horizon. All right. Another target that I had was for December 2020. Right? I had about a $2,000 target down here. Again, I know these seem a little bit aggressive, but this is just based on technicals of how I'm seeing, maybe this big parallel channel that's at play, the modified shift pitchfork. These are all things that I want you guys to be aware of because no one out there is actually talking about lower prices. And I think that's the dangerous thing that's about this market is I think everyone just thinks that this market has to go up. And people often think that Bitcoin's success is directly tied to its price. Well, if that's the case, right, imagine what kind of crushing blow you will have to the entire industry if you crush the price to prices that people have never seen for years. And so this is what I mean is when you start crushing prices down to $3,000, $2,000, $1,500, you will basically destroy some of the hodlers from 2017 onward, some of the more avid crypto Twitter enthusiasts who keep talking about 2022 we're gonna hit 250K and 100,000 or whatever, all that bullshit, right? These people are gonna be gone, and then when they're gone, this opens up the doors for us who look at the markets from a longer term perspective. When you look at markets from a 5-10 year horizon, if the markets really prove themselves, let's just say Bitcoin is supposed to be the asset that is going to be something great in the future. Well, then you have to look at it from the 5-10 year perspective, right? And so if we start looking at that, buying it at 2,000 or 3,000 in the hopes of even it climbing back to a previous high of 20K or even 10K, right? So if you buy at 2 or 3,000, going back to 10,000 is still about a 2 to 3x gain. If you go back to 20,000, that's still about 6 to 7x gain. That's a good amount of money, folks. Okay? I think everyone is just so clouded and blinded by the gambling mentality of prices just have to keep going up. And that's the very reason I personally think that prices will actually go down. Because no one actually believes that this market could go down. And that's a perfect way of crushing a majority of participants. Everyone who wants to perpetually long every pullback, just crush them all out of the market, get it out of the way, let these people go back to their day jobs or their mother's basement, and then we start the new bull run. Okay, this is my thought process on this. All right. So anyway, with that being said, on the smaller time frame, I think we're going to get an opportunity. Okay, the opportunity is this. I think we're going to get a retrace back somewhere up here. And this is where I think I'd like to start building my short position. $8,700, $8,800, all the way up to $9,200, $9,300. We would want to go back towards that area, and I would like to start building my short position right there. And I would start, targeting that as my swing trade. First target for my swing trade would at least be way down here around 5 or 6K. Okay. Next big target would be at least around $4,500. Then after that, it'd be the previous low that we put in around 3,600. And then I think, we'd probably have to aim for about $2,400. And I'll show you guys exactly why that is. Okay. Here's that $2,400 target. If you look at the S1 right there, okay, see right there, 2360, S1 on the weekly. This is a big weekly support level dating back from 2017 June right here. This little consolidation period, right? This is where that S1 comes from, okay? So with that being said, I personally think that on a weekly basis over the next, several weeks, several months, I think a deep target could be that $2,400 area. All right. When it comes to alts, I mean, they have gotten completely crushed. Okay. Let's see Ethereum as well, right? Ethereum dropped off big, very big. Dropped from a high of 216, went down to about 180. It's basically coming back to the previous area of resistance, testing as support. But if Ethereum is supposed to keep going down, all right, again, just like Bitcoin, I think it might pull back up maybe for a couple days and then start dumping again. Okay, just like this one did, right? We consolidated here for a little bit, took a big dump, consolidated back up for a good week, and then dump and dump. Okay, so I think the acceleration back down is going to be pretty fast and is going to be pretty brutal. It's going to catch a lot of people off guard, in my opinion. We're going to have a lot of analysis on this. I'm super excited for the weeks ahead because, like I said, I love trading volatile markets. I think there's going to be a lot of money to be made. I already told my community that, be prepared for May. It's time to crush it. Okay. If you are not a member, come join the Advantage community, folks. Cryptosomniac.com, hit the products page, join the subscription, and come trade with us. All right. Because you can see all these gains reviews, folks. All right. People are just kicking ass in our community. All right. And I'm super happy for all my community members because I think a lot of them have learned that you have to take this market with patience. Do not just perpetually be bullish or bearish. What we like to do is stay adaptable to these markets, help others figure out how to find their footing in the markets. And we have a lot of traders in the community. Okay, a lot of traders who discuss pretty much every hour of the day what's going on in the markets. Okay, you can see right here, everyone is, up either at night, during the day, afternoon, evening, whenever. All right, so you have a lot of people, from all parts of the world. Even over here, you can see, someone is making killer gains right here, right? 1100%. Obviously, this is probably 100x, but still, So one thing that we do preach heavily in our community is managing your risk, not going too heavy in your trades, and just taking a longer perspective on things. All right, and just good analysis, good community that helps you understand things that you may not understand, how to trade properly, how to manage your risk, where exactly take profit markers are, anything that you may have a question with. I think our community does a fantastic job. All right. So with that being said, be very careful when it comes to trading alts. All right. I know a few alts already had their very big explosive moves. This is the one alt I was paying attention to. I personally think that this one is probably going to, if Bitcoin starts dumping, this is going to get sent down pretty hard, in my opinion. ZRX. These pumps like this, I really hate because this is really just a pump and dump, in my opinion. And I think this is what a lot of alts are nowadays. There's really no real business behind them. They're not really doing a whole lot. It's, it's just very thin liquidity and it's easy to push the market one way or another with a couple $1 million. Okay. Same thing, I love BAT, but even BAT had a pretty explosive move, right? You could see right here. I mean, it moved almost 30-40% in less than maybe 2 or 3 hours. And again, now it's dumping again. So sometimes when I look at this, I think of this as like an exit scam. Not that, the business itself is shutting down, but it's an exit scam in a sense that, the real movers of the market are saying that, hey, we need to get out of this before this thing takes another big dump. Okay. And so this is why I think that when alts are making moves like this, and when Bitcoin is dumping the way we saw just yesterday, right? I think there's something big coming towards the market over the next several days. Okay. So just be careful in the market. Try to figure out how to position yourself as best as possible. And, I hope you guys come join our Advantage membership. Okay. Today, we're going to be doing an equities video. Me and Faisal we're going to cover all the bases of what's happening in the equities markets. Every Sunday we do that, and we put that up on YouTube free for you guys. But if you want to know more about how the equities markets operate, Faisal provides live equity updates every single day, as you can see in the Advantage side, the paid side. Stock of the day right there, top growth stocks. If you're into trading oil as well, he'll let you know the companies that he's looking at. As you can see right here, he's watching VLO, CVX, EOG, and XLE. XLE is the energy ETF, by the way. So anyway, this is the kind of fantastic information that you get on the paid side right here. Okay. So hit the products page, join Advantage, and also come join our Bitcoin halving party, folks. Now we're having a halving party right here. I'm probably going to make this public if enough people want to. So do come join our Advantage community, or if you're on the free side, let me know if you want to join the Advantage party. We're going to have a lot of fun, lots of giveaways, a lot of cool stuff that we're going to be doing in terms of trivia, giving away prizes and money. So I'm super excited for that. So come join, all right? Y'all take care. Have a good rest of your Sunday and keep your stops tight. Cheers.